Let us begin with the next submodule, cost center accounting. We'll begin with profit center accounting because cost center has a field which will ask for profit center. So we'll begin with profit center accounting, finish profit center, and then go back to cost center. Now, profit center accounting lets us decide the internal operating results for a particular business unit. Now, a profit center represents an organizational unit that operates independently on the market. It bears the responsibility for its own costs and revenue. Cost center will only give you cost related information. Profit center gives profit related information, which is useful because when compared with the cost, you will come to know whether it is resulting in a revenue or expenditure. Now, the organization can have profit centers by assigning the master data of each profit relevant cost objects. Might sound a bit complicated, but when you practice, when you look into the screen, it will be clear. Okay. It reflects the management-oriented structure of the organization for the purpose of internal control. That's why controlling has been introduced. FI for external reporting, CO for internal reporting. Right. Let's go to create a profit center. Path IMG controlling profit center accounting. Controlling profit center accounting. Basic settings, controlling area settings, maintain controlling area settings. Transaction code 0KE5. 0KE5. Last, the controlling area. Controlling area we created in masters ABC1. Please keep the standard hierarchy. Just as we had given cost center standard hierarchy, step 1, that is start controlling, maintain controlling area. For profit center accounting activity, a standard hierarchy. Anything of your choice. Profit center local currency. Controlling area currency or profit center currency. GBP. And Be safe. Close this basic settings and create a dummy profit center. The purpose of creating a dummy profit center is that it is a default profit center to which data is posted. Default data is in when the corresponding object has not been assigned to a particular profit center. It may happen, it happens when some objects in the system are inadvertently left without an assignment to a profit center. In this case, the objects do not go to a particular cost center, but posting to the accounts, whether be it revenue or cost elements, go and hit the dummy profit center of the controlling area. Let's create a dummy profit center for IMG controlling profit center accounting, master data, profit center, define profit center, create dummy profit center. KE59 is the transaction code. Create dummy profit center. KE59. Double click on create dummy profit center. Dummy profit center. ABC1, let's do dummy, any name of it. Click on basic data. One, dummy profit center. C1. ABC1. Profit center group. This is the group which we just created, 0K85, and save. We have to go back to basic settings again, controlling area settings, activate direct postings, set control parameters for actual data, transaction code 1KEF.
For the transaction code, you know when you click, no? You see when you click, you can see the transaction code, no?
See, in the IMG screen, you cannot see the transaction code. Okay. When you come to ING screen, can you open up anything, financial accounting, controlling, whatever module, center accounting, basic settings. You can only see the activity and the configuration, but you cannot see the transaction code. Say we have to do set control parameters for actual data. I said 1KEF. How did I find out 1KEF is the transaction code? Yes, one is like practice. That is one. There's a small trick involved here to find out the transaction code. Click on additional information on top. Again, additional information. Display key. IMG activity. Okay.
Display key. Yeah.
Additional information. Again, additional information. Display key.
Display key.
IMG activity. If you click on this IMG activity, to your right, a long list of technical information will appear. Like this. Okay. Long list of technical information appear. SIMG, CFD, MN, something. The trick here is the last four characters. The last four characters is your transaction code.
Okay.
So for set control parameters for actual data, the transaction code is 1KEF. But bear in mind, this trick, this works almost all the time, 95% of the time it works. But does not work in certain areas like asset accounting, taxation. It doesn't work in these areas. So in those cases, you have to come by the path. You have to come use the IMG screen and navigate yourself to that activity. Okay.
Okay.
Set control parameters for actual data. New entries. Cameo 2017. Please do not click on lock. If you click on lock means revenue postings to profit center cannot be made by the user. Line items. Line items means the same as we had line items in GL master data. We put a check mark on GL master data line items. It's the same concept. One debit is a line item, one credit is a line item. All line items to be displayed. Online transfer. Please put a check mark on this. This indicator controls whether postings should be transferred to profit center for each activity. At the time of posting entries in F5, there is a field called profit center. I'll show you when you are doing GL account posting, you're doing posting. You have to specify which cost center it is hitting and which profit center it is hitting. Now, if you put a check mark on this online transfer, it will transfer the postings automatically from the F5 module to the CL module. If not, this is unchecked, you will have to manually transfer the postings from F5 to CL module. So please put a check mark on line items, online transfer, and the year from which profit center is going to be used. Please save. Back to the IMG screen. And now we will define profit center, actual profit center. IMG, controlling, profit center accounting, master data, profit center. Define profit center. Transaction code, you can see here, KE51. KE51 is the transaction code. Please double click on create profit center. Now before this, the essential difference between a profit center and a business area. You would remember that we created a business area in financial accounting, FI. Business area, I said, is nothing but a separate area of operations of business. The essential difference between a profit center and a business area is that profit centers are used for internal control. So business areas are more geared towards an external viewpoint. Okay. The profit center differs from cost center now, is that cost centers merely represents the units in which capacity cost arises. Okay. Whereas a person in charge of the profit center is responsible for the balance of both cost and revenue. What's the difference between profit center and business area? Profit center and cost center. Right, let's create the profit center, actual profit center. Double click on create profit center. And let us rename. Now, before I go here, profit centers can be, can be created on the basis of profit centers can be created on two bases. One can be location wise, the other one can be product based. Location based can be you can have profit centers like London, the other profit center can be Wales, what else? You have many based on the location. Product based can be, say, cement, bricks, steel. Each one becomes a profit center. Each one product becomes a separate profit center. How much profitability it is generating. Now, this information has to come from the client. How he wants to define his profit center is dependent on his business process. Okay, let's go and create a profit center. We'll name the profit centers as product. Let's see. Person responsible, A, some name. Profit center group is the group which we created at the start of profit center accounting. ABC1, there's only one entry available, that is and click on activate, not save, but activate. Because if you can see here, the status will be in inactive state. So please click on activate. Let's say cost profit center has been created. Create another profit center. Click on enter or master data. Profit center group remains the same. Please click on profit center has been created. Once we create profit center, we'll now go to cost center. Although cost center comes above profit center, I'll tell you the reason why we touched on profit center first. Let's go to cost center. So before we go this, cost center can be used for controlling purposes within the organization for ascertaining the costs incurred by the organization. It enables us to check the profitability of individual functional areas and provide a decisive decision-making data for management. This requires that all the costs be assigned to their particular source. Path, IMG, controlling, cost center accounting, master data, cost centers. Now cost centers can be like cost centers sit under a particular cost center group. Say production group. Under production, we can have different cost centers. Cost center 1 can be raw material production. Cost center 2 can be semi-finished. Cost center 3, finished. Similarly, we can have another cost center. Finance. Finance is another cost center group which can have different cost centers. Admin finance, payroll finance. We will create first a cost center group, a cost center into the cost centers first. Then assign it to the cost center group. Go and create cost centers, IMG, controlling, cost center accounting, master data, cost centers, and execute. Create cost centers, transaction code AS02. Please double click on create cost center. Say department A, valid from, we can give today's date, the start date from the cost center will be put into use, or we can give the start of the financial year. Start of our financial year is 2004. Please click on master data. Please give me a minute.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah, no problem.
description, name and description, department name. Person responsible, cost center category. You have lots of predefined categories provided by SAP. That is to say that this department A takes care of what? What activity is being done in this department A? Select anything of your choice. Hierarchy area. On this hierarchy area, we have already defined at the start of controlling module. Only one hierarchy will come. ABC1 underscore HI. Where does the system pick this from? If we go to maintain controlling area, PKP, which is the start of controlling, we had defined ABC1 underscore HIER as our cost center standard hierarchy. We had defined our cost center standard hierarchy as ABC1 underscore HIER. This is the place from where the system picks up the hierarchy area automatically. Now if you can type it, or if you click on the help button, the help is going to fetch it from OPKP and put ABC1 underscore HIER. Please enter the currency, GBP, and the profit center. This is why we have to do profit center of object service. It will ask for the details of profit center. Department A is going to be linked with which profit center? We're going to link cement with department A. Save. Again, click on case 01, create cost centers. This time department B, and we will link steel department. Same process. Click on master data. Department B. Person responsible B. Cost center category can be 1. If you wish to change it, you can research and development. Hierarchy area will be the same. Currency. The profit center. This time we'll select T. Save. Cost center, profit center. We have to create a cost center group first. This is what I'm going to create. Production. And assign both this department, Department A, Department B, to the production group. Define cost center groups. Transaction code KSH1. KSH1 is the transaction code. Path IMG control. Master data. Cost centers. Create, define cost center groups. Define cost center groups. KSH1, execute. Double click on create cost center group. Production. Click on hierarchy. Hierarchy. And enter the name of the cost center group. If you enter the name of the group, please click on insert cost center. Now under this group, please assign all the cost centers which we have created. We have only two created, Department A and Department B. If you do not remember the names, the help button is available here in the form of a small black inverted arrow. If you click on this, it will display all the cost centers which are available. Department A, Department B, Please click on enter or the green button, confirm changes, and see. Our next topic would be statistical key figures, or we also call SKF, statistical key figures. Uh, these figures merely represent a cost center, which are used for allocation to determine the operation rate of a cost center. These
Yes.
figures can represent cost center, activity type, orders, profit center, a particular business process. These can be used as a basis for internal allocation and further be used in distribution and assessment. Distribution assessment is an activity in SAP in controlling. Now, but before that, we have to assess the cost for the particular cost object. Say, for example, uh, cost attributed to a cafeteria. Okay. Now we have to assess the cost for the cafeteria to the individual cost centers based on the number of employees in each cost centers. Okay. To assess the cost of the entire cafeteria to the individual cost center, we have to find out the number of employees in each cost center. Only then it will be multiplied by that statistical key figure and the cost will be found out. Now to do this, we need to enter the number of employees in each cost center as a statistical key figure. So the statistical key figure in this case to ascertain the cafeteria cost becomes the number of employees. That's the key figure. We can define a statistical key figure either as a fixed value or as a totals value. Okay. Key figures, now what does this mean? Key figures defined in fixed values are valid of the posting period in all the subsequent posting periods of the fiscal year. For example, the key figure employee is defined as a fixed value, for example. The statistical key figure employee is defined as a fixed value. In period 1, we post 10 employees on cost center on department A. The system will automatically post these 10 employees from the subsequent periods, that is from period 2 to period 12. Now, there is a possibility that the number of employees can increase at any time. Some new joinees are there.
Yes.
So in period 6, for example, in period 6, the number of employees goes to 15. We had 10, now it goes to 15. So this means that in period 6, we post 15 employees to the cost center, department A. The system automatically now posts for 15 employees starting from period 6 to period 12. Okay. Now, key figures defined in totals value now. This was for fixed value. Key figures defined in totals value are valid only in the posting period in which they are entered and in no other posting period. For example, we define a statistical figure telephone units as a total value in period 1 of the fiscal year. We post 1000 telephone units to department A. The system will post 1000 telephone units only in period 1 in no other period. That's the difference between fixed value and totals value. Okay. Let's go ahead and create a statistical key figure. Path, IMG. It's not IMG. It's easy access. Easy access, accounting. I know what you must be thinking. Controlling is not an easy. Controlling is not that easy to master. It requires extreme amount of practice. Only when you see the screens, you will understand. Only when you see the screen repeatedly, you will understand the terminologies. Welcome. You'll understand the terminologies and the rationale behind why this is being done.
It's less intuitive, I think.
Yeah.
The other is, well, it's difficult, okay, but it's more intuitive, but this one is less.
Yeah. And the thing is, organizations, managers do it for internal control, which means they design the system based on their needs. So each organization will have a different controlling feature than the other. So it makes it all the more complex. Okay. Accounting, then controlling. We go to cost center accounting, master data, SKF, individual processing. Then we have KK01, create statistical key. If it is a master data, we should be able to do it in IMG screen also. Just a minute. Okay. If it is a master data transaction, then we should be able to do it in the IMG screen also. Yeah, KK01 maintains statistical key. Okay. IMG, controlling, cost center accounting, master data, statistical key figures, maintain statistical key figures. Transaction code, KK01, execute. Double click on. Create statistical key figures. Our controlling area, ABC1. Enter. You can click on save to save the controlling area. But if you want to change your controlling area, you can use the transaction code OKKS to change your controlling area. Enter. It will ask for statistical key figure. You can give any number of your choice, any name, number. I'm just giving 1000. SKF is 1000. and click on master data. It will direct us to the screen, this one, and let us give what is 1000. 1000 is number of employees. Employees. And very important, statistical key figure, unit of measurement. EA. Number of employees is measured as each employee, right? Each per unit. And let it be on fixed values. Enter the above at the given parameters. And let us create statistical key figures for others as well. Save. This is only for number of employees. Okay. Now let's create another statistical key figure. 2000. Click on master data. Um, Telephone calls. This again will be each. Okay. And totals to be posted only. Totals means to be posted only in that period. Fixed means it's fixed for all the periods. Totals is something like variable. It might be different in different periods, which cannot be fixed. Save. Create one more. $2,000. Enter. Master data. Enter. Master data. Okay. We're area occupied. Statistical key figure. Let's see for area occupied. Footer, length, or square foot. Any one of them. FT2 would be better, I think. Square foot in area. Select the appropriate unit of measurement and please click on fixed value. Area occupied is fixed for all the periods. Save. Again double click on statistical key figures. 4000. Master data. Number of kilometers. What do you use there, mile or kilometers?
Well, here in UK, mile, and in my country, kilometers.
Okay, we use km, kilometer.
Put kilometer for me is fine because the miles I don't understand how.
Okay. So
in UK it's all different. They drive for the opposite way and.
So is it miles in UK?
Miles in UK, yeah. But in my country in Spain is kilometers.
Yeah, we also use kilometers.
Kilometers, okay.
Okay. SKF, kilometer. and this will be again a variable, so totals value. Each period will be different kilometers. Save. We'll create another 1,000. Master data. Statistical key figure. We are time, or we can go to R's HR. Again, a totals value. Number of hours is different in different period. Save. Again, we click on create statistical key figure. Power units 6,000. Enter or master data. Key figure. Think kilowatt. Kilowatt hours. Energy consumption. In total values. I hope you understood the difference between a fixed and a total value.
Fix is like always will be the same that
Yeah, it's like the number of, it's like a salaries paid, rent paid, all these are fixed values. Okay?
Yeah.
Unless there is a specific change, in which case we are going to go ahead and change it. Total values are like variable components. Okay, like power consumption, the bonus, or the kilometers run, the number of units consumed. These are totals which will differ from one period to other period. Hence, we give total values. Say, number of tests during quality or something we do tests 7,000. Key figure based on each test again EA. Again total values. The results of each test will vary from period to period. Say hence totals 8,000 for purchase orders. Again, purchase order is each PO based. Each PO will be different in different periods. Say, and we'll put one more production unit. Each unit. Say, saved. Can you please give me a minute?
Yes, yes,
My
sure.
spouse is calling.
Yes, yes, yes.
Next would be planning of the statistical key figures. Transaction code KP46, or I think it is logged out. The path for planning, accounting, easy access, accounting, controlling, cost center accounting, planning, SKF, statistical key figure, and change KP46. Double click, please enter the controlling area, ABC1, enter. And last for these details. Version. Version is the standard 0 that we selected. 0 is what we created in the first step in general controlling. So only that will appear. From period 1 to period 12 for the fiscal year 2017. I is now going to ask the cost center, from which cost center to which cost center. We only have 2 cost centers. In a live scenario, you'll have thousands of costs. Department A to Department B. What is the statistical key figure? We have defined statistical key figures from 1000 to 9000. Please click on entry, form based. Enter the given parameters and select and click on overview screen. F5 is the shortcut key. It will display this kind of a screen. It will display this kind of screen. So we need to plan the value in this. Say number of employees, 3, telephone calls made at about 1500, area occupied 50, 300 number of kilometers, repairing hours, 1, 900 for power units consumed, something. Okay. Production unit. Wow. Enter. and this is for department A. To go to the next combination, please click on this one. This one, two, third button. Next combination. It will take us to department B now. So 4 employees. No telephone calls. Area occupied 100. Repairing hours 250. Which is enter. Then so on and so forth for how much ever cost centers we have. Then save the parameters. Change to data has been posted is what you show. Back to the main screen. The report on cost center. Transaction code is S underscore ALR underscore 87013661. S underscore ALR underscore 87013611. That is cost center actual planned variance values. It will display this kind of a screen. Please enter the controlling area, fiscal year, from period to period, plan version, and click on execute. You can see this report for department A, department B, planned absorbed values. Double click on each department. Next topic would be internal orders, which I will take it tomorrow. Internal orders is only for a specific job, a particular job which cannot be assigned to any defined cost center. So we put an internal order to settle that. Say for example, manufacturing of an engine, only specific engine which enhances the performance of the car. We're not manufacturing the whole car by itself, just the engine which enhances the performance. This engine has to be marketed, it has to reach the consumer. So we'll give advertisements, we'll put a stall to market it, newspaper ads, television ads, physical marketing by putting it in a car show, something like this will be done. So these involve cost of both internal and external resources, which cannot be taken to any one particular cost center. So internal orders are created and settled over a period of time. What is that? How it is done? We'll see that tomorrow. Tomorrow, same time. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear
Yes,
me?
sorry. Yes, yes, yes.